Every year, millions of people try to change their habits, sleep better, eat healthier, drink less, exercise more, scroll less, think more positively, and yet, over 80% fail, often within 3 weeks. Why? Why is it so hard to change something we logically want? Why does the brain resist transformation, even when the old habit is destroying our health? Today, we dive into the neuroscience, physiology, and biochemistry behind habits, and how you can finally create changes that stick. This is the science of transformation, and it's far more biological than motivational. Before we get too deep into this topic, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. This will help bring the truth about health and healing to the thousands of people who need to hear this message. Now back to the episode. The brain is a prediction machine. The human brain is not designed for happiness, it's designed for efficiency and survival. Habits form because the brain loves automation. Predictable routines reduce energy expenditure. Psychologist Daniel Kahneman calls this the brain's preference for cognitive ease. Once a behavior repeats enough times, the brain shifts control to the basal ganglia, the habit center, freeing up conscious thought for more complex tasks. To your brain, a habit feels safe, even if it's harmful. The habit loop, cue, routine, reward. Neuroscientist Charles Duhigg helped popularize this, but the framework comes from decades of neuroscience research. Cue triggers the behavior. Routine is the learned action. Reward reinforces it through dopamine. The brain associates the cue with predictable dopamine, so the loop continues, sometimes for a lifetime. Why breaking a habit feels like withdrawal. Changing habits is difficult because the brain is literally wired to preserve them. When you stop a familiar routine, dopamine signaling drops, triggering discomfort, irritability, craving, anxiety. These aren't emotional weaknesses. They are neurological withdrawal responses. You are not flawed. Your brain is simply doing what it evolved to do, keep you doing what's predictable. Dopamine, the driver of repetition. Habit formation is powered not by pleasure, but by anticipation. Studies by Dr. Wolfram Schultz show that dopamine spikes before the reward, when the brain predicts what's coming. Schultz, 2016. This is why checking your phone, grabbing a snack, taking a drink, opening social media become addictive. The dopamine prediction itself becomes the reward. Neural pathways and myelination. The more you repeat a habit, the stronger the neural pathway becomes. Myelin, the fatty insulation around neural circuits, wraps those pathways, making them faster and more automatic. Your brain is literally rewiring itself to support your repeated behavior. Cortisol and stress-based habits. Many bad habits form in response to chronic cortisol elevation, including emotional eating, doom scrolling, alcohol consumption, procrastination. The body seeks quick dopamine hits to counteract stress. Homeostasis, the body's resistance to change. Homeostasis is your internal equilibrium system. When you try to change a habit, the body perceives it as threat, a disruption of balance, activating resistance. This is why sudden lifestyle overhauls fail. The body tries to pull you back into the old familiar state. Why most people do not succeed. 1. Relying on motivation instead of systems. Motivation is temporary. Systems create permanence. 2. Changing too much at once. The brain cannot tolerate multiple simultaneous disruptions. Small habits succeed because they bypass the threat response. 3. Goals without identity change. James Clear famously explains, "You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems." But neuroscience goes deeper. The prefrontal cortex cannot compete long-term with the ingrained circuits of the basal ganglia unless you shift identity itself. 4. Lack of environmental support. Research shows that environment, visual cues, accessibility, social surroundings predicts habit success more than willpower. 5. No dopamine replacement strategy. Old habits supplied dopamine. If the new habit doesn't, the brain quits. You cannot remove a habit. You must replace the biochemical payoff. How to successfully change a habit. 1. Make the habit so small that the brain doesn't resist. Neuroscientist B.J. Fogg calls this tiny habits. Your new habit must be easy, frictionless, quick, biologically non-threatening. Examples: 2 push-ups per day, 1 minute of journaling, reading 1 paragraph, 30 seconds of meditation. These tiny steps bypass the amygdala's threat response. 2. Attach the new habit to an existing cue. This is called habit stacking. The brain already trusts the original cue. Example: after I brush my teeth, I meditate for 1 minute. 3. Use dopamine to reinforce the new routine. You must reward yourself immediately after completing the new habit. The reward might be a small celebration, a check mark on a habit tracker, positive self-talk, a micro treat, the feeling of success. Dopamine released after the action strengthens the neural pathway. 4. Make the old habit impossible or inconvenient. Change the environment. Remove unhealthy snacks. Delete apps. Move workout clothes next to your bed. Turn your phone grayscale. When the environment changes, behavior follows. 5. Shift identity, not just behavior. Identity-based habits align with how you see yourself. Instead of, I want to read more, say, I am a reader. Instead of, I want to exercise, say, I am someone who trains every day. Identity drives repetition. Repetition wires identity. 6. Harness neuroplasticity through consistency. Habits stabilize after 63 to 90 days, not 21. This timeline is supported by research including Dr. Philippa Lally's Habit Formation Study, 2009. Consistency, not intensity, rewires the brain. 7. Leverage sleep for habit consolidation. During sleep, the hippocampus uploads new behavioral patterns into long-term storage. Without deep sleep, new habits fail biologically. You are not fighting your willpower. You are navigating your biology. Change is not about force. It's about working with the brain instead of against it. When you understand dopamine, neuroplasticity, environmental design, and identity, transformation becomes inevitable. You are not just creating a new habit, you are creating a new neural architecture, a new version of yourself, a new future. If you enjoyed this exploration of the science of habit change, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone ready to transform their life. Because the more we understand our biology, the more empowered we become to rewrite our destiny. For more information about our clinic, please go to drvictoriamunoz.com or see link in description below. We have helped thousands of people regain their health and vitality, and we can help you. Join us next time for another deep dive into the complex world of medical science. I am Dr. Victoria Munoz. Until next time, take care.